Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. April 17th, 2017. That's Schaeffer Cox mailing address on the screen. I pray that you take advantage of it and write him a letter. My wife has made me aware that Ray Southwell, a well-known militia figure up in Alaska, has put out in support of Schaeffer Cox number 5. And as we have done for the first 4, we will continue to do. I have not read this. Let's read it together. In support of Schaeffer Cox number 5, he has a picture of a couple of books, All the President's Bankers, The Hidden Alliances That Drive American Power by Nomi Prinz, another book called 13 Bankers, The Wall Street Takeover and the Next Financial Meltdown by Simon Johnson and James Quack, K-W-A-K. In support of Schaeffer Cox number 5, April the 17th, 2017, so it just came out today. So many books concerning the corruption within our Department of Justice. I suppose you could beat that issue to death. I don't want to lose people, so bear with me as I finish this last entry of the broad-based corruption within our Department of Justice. The failed banking system and the Department of Justice failure to do what is in the best interest of the people. First, a little background. Investment bankers destroyed our economy in 1929. The roaring 20s brought in wild speculation of monetary expansion, and the greed of investment bankers gave our nation the Great Depression. As a result, a new law was passed called Glass-Steagall Act. It separated commercial banks from investment banks. It also did not allow insurance companies into the speculative market. These entities had to make a choice. You could not have the business practices of commercial banks and investment banks along with insurance company under one roof. They had to pick one: commercial banking, investment banking, or insurance business. In 1999, Glass-Steagall was repealed. It was thought that our economy could handle wild speculation in the derivatives market. This ever-growing market was exponentially expanded and sold around the world, thereby growing our economy. With the loss of Glass-Steagall protection for the people, any bank or insurance company could do what was illegal prior to 1999. It was thought our Department of Justice would prosecute bad behavior on Wall Street speculators, using the ever-watchful eyes of governmental agencies. They all failed miserably. Of course, we all know what happened. 2007, 2008, wild speculation brought the system down and threatened and continues to threaten the entire economic system of the planet. Where has the Department of Justice been during this entire process? Collecting revenues, fines, while ignoring the illegal activities of those individuals who corrupted the banking system. As President Roosevelt described them in his first inaugural address, they only know the roles of a generation of self-seekers, for when there is no vision, the people perish. And the Department of Justice has no vision of justice and are full of self-seekers. There is no justice for the people. It is just us. A book about bankers. All the President's Bankers, The Hidden Alliances That Drive American Power, written in 2014 by whistleblower banker Nomi Prinz. Her book documents the long list of bankers behind our president since 1913, the year our income tax system along with the Federal Reserve banking system was created. Attached is an update from last September. Pay close attention to the video she presents from our Department of Justice, collecting millions of dollars from banks who laundered money for drug cartels. Not one banker goes to prison. They promise never to do it again, that is, until the next time, and the Department of Justice will look the other way. He gives a link to dailyreckoning.com, big-banks-hiding-money-4-elites. Another book is 13 Bankers, The Wall Street Takeover and the Next Financial Meltdown, published in 2010 by Simon Johnson and James Quack. Within the folded lip of the jacket cover, they state, Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, Chase, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley, which together control assets amounting astonishingly to more than 60% of the country's gross domestic product. These financial institutions, now more emphatically too big to fail, continue to hold global economy hostage, threatening yet another financial meltdown with their excessive risk-taking and business-as-usual practices. Perhaps the corruption in the Department of Justice is actually fear rather than corruption. I wonder what would happen if the Department of Justice feared the people. I believe that is why the founders codified the existing rights within the Second Amendment, so the people would have a defensive mechanism when government fails justice. As President Obama stated to big bank executives, "My administration," the president added, "is the only thing between you and the pitchforks." You can see where the quote came from by reading a Politico article by Emmons Javers titled, quote, "Inside Obama's Bank CEO's Meeting," end quote, dated 4/3/09. I could go on and put you all to sleep. I won't. My efforts are in support of Schaeffer Cox. My next post will start naming names and developing a plan to help to bring economic hardship and fear of monetary loss to the Department of Justice. Attorneys who subvert the law and generate fear of loss on the people themselves. It is my turn to play games with these corrupt attorneys in the Department of Justice. Turnabout is fair play. I suppose then it will be my turn for the Department of Justice to attack me as they did my friend Schaeffer Cox. He knew too much and attempted to expose the truth. Now his family suffers the most with economic hardship created by the Department of Justice attorneys. Turnabout is fair play. I accept the consequences of my behavior. Wars for justice, freedom, and liberty have victims on both sides. Signed, Ray Southwell, Nikiski, Alaska. You know, I don't know Ray Southwell, but I tend to like his articles. I pray you take his articles and spread them far and wide, and I pray that you write my friend a letter. His name is Schaeffer Cox. He spent 6 years in prison, and if the Department of Justice has their way, he'll spend the next 20 years in prison. But I pray our God Almighty works a miracle and holds the evildoers in the Department of Justice accountable for their wickedness. May you have a great day, and don't forget our brother in bonds.